to investigate the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. The House notes that by virtue of Section 5A E to F of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria Act, Laws of the Federation 2004, the bank is saddled with the functions of, amongst others, to provide long-term credit facilities to mortgage institutions in Nigeria at such rates and such terms as may be determined by the board in accordance with the policy directed by the federal government, collect, manage, and administer the National Housing Fund in accordance with the provisions of the National Housing Fund Act, do anything and enter into any transaction which, in the opinion of the board, is necessary to ensure the proper performance of its functions under this Act. Note also that, according to the publication of Daily Trust of Wednesday, February 26th, the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria has over 360 billion naira in its kitty, and yet only an insignificant 63,000 out of the 5 million contributors have been able to access one form of funding, whether housing loans or mortgages, over the past 28 years. Saddened that over 4,647,000 contributors are left at the mercy of Shylock landlords all over Nigeria, largely due to no fault of theirs, but the bureaucratic nature and slow pace of doing business in Nigeria. Further saddened that the bank has only been able to deliver a paltry 28,000 housing units across the country in the face of the ever-burgeoning demand for housing in Nigeria. Aware that the process of urbanization is an ongoing trend in developed and developing countries, with particular reference to Nigeria, studies have shown that many urban centers have been experiencing rapid and continuous deterioration in housing provision over the years, as people tend to migrate from rural areas to urban centers in order to better their living conditions. Also aware that there has been an inadequacy of the necessary infrastructure to meet the needs of the increasing urban populace, and empirical studies have shown that about 75% of the urban settlers live in slums and improper housing, which is antithetical to the SDGs of enhancing human dignity. Disturbed that the pace at which the bank is going, a large percentage of the contributors will never be able to actualize their dreams of ever owning a house of their own in their lifetimes. Further disturbed that the Federal Mortgage Bank, in spite of the large sums of contributors' money and the force of legality at its disposal, has failed to deliver on its mandate of providing housing to Nigerians. Worried that the continuous retention of such large sums of money lying fallow in the coffers of the bank is a veritable source of corruption which should never be encouraged, resolves to urge the federal government to take steps to overhaul the activities of the bank in order to address the housing malaise in Nigeria, mandate the Committee on Housing as a matter of urgency to investigate the structure, operation, and challenges facing the bank and report to this House within 4 weeks, and mandate the Committee on Legislative Compliance to ensure appropriate compliance. I so move, Mr. Speaker, in Nigeria. By 2020, it had gone to 25 million housing deficit. And the statistics shows that we need about 700,000 housing units annually to address the problem. Right now, we're doing about 100,000, which means there is a deficit, clear deficit in achievements. Even the Vice President recently complained very bitterly that the deficit, the housing deficit in Nigeria is too high. Lagos alone, they say 2/3 of its population live in slums, and it has a 2.5 million deficit in housing. I believe that if we are going to address the problems from the perspectives of the people, we need to do something about housing. I know many of us here may be living comfortably and we may not know what the masses are going through out there. But we know because they come to us to ask for help. And you know how much you give to support them to get just a one room in a BQ in Abuja and Lagos and elsewhere. This motion simply seeks to find out why the Federal Mortgage Bank, with 360 billion contributed by Nigerian workers, is not giving out this money to them to build houses. This is directly related to corruption. When you work for 30 years and the bank is not giving you money and you will soon retire and you have no one-bedroom bungalow in the village, you begin to look for other ways to make up this money. Mr. Speaker, the motion is straightforward. Let's investigate why the Federal Mortgage Bank does not believe it should give the people's money to the people so they can build their homes.
Those in favor of the motion as amended say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.